Okay, please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you.
Okay, we're good to go? It always takes about 5 minutes to ask the first question. Here we go. You ready? Who's up? Go ahead. Orange shirt. Here we go.
Where do you assess, coming out of this game, where do you assess yourself going into the bye week and going forward?
Well,
In general.
yes, sir. Yeah, we're 3-1, and we're happy to be 3-1. Would we love to be 4-0? Of course we would, but 3-1 is better than 2-2. And so, we feel decent about where we're at. Obviously, we've got a bye week for a few things. We can get healed up, and we can also, self-scout and just try to improve as a football team. And I think it comes at the right time for us, 4 games in, and hopefully it'll help us.
I'm sure you want 6 every time, but generally, how pleased have you been with Christian and the rest of the offense in the red zone so far this year?
Yeah, I think, again, you're right. We want touchdowns when we get down there, but I'm pleased with the red area production. There were some things today that we have to execute better, and, I have to make a better play call. And but I think overall it's been decent. Sam has kicked the ball. It's been just fantastic the way he's kicked the ball. I think that was the longest field goal since the 70s, and that's a heck of a kick. So I know that wasn't in a red area, but it was a 54-yarder. So, but no, I think we can make improvements there, and we will.
Bill, do you think your team got better today?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I think we improved. I think anytime you win, Rich, like I said, it's like salt water. It cures a lot of things, and it also, it gives you a chance to go back and watch the tape and, again, try to dissect the things that you're doing wrong and try to improve. But I think anytime you win, your team gets better. They gain confidence. They trust in one another, and they gain more trust in one another. And like I said, it's just a fantastic group of kids to coach. And you just can't say enough. You cannot say enough about these kids and how they come to play every single week and every day in practice. Just a bunch of great kids.
Bill, how would you evaluate Christian's performance today?
Yeah, I think he had some good throws. I think he had some throws that he'd want back, but he'll get better from this. He'll watch the tape. I think he's probably a little frustrated tonight, but that's okay. That's the mark of a fantastic player, and that's what he is. And he'll get better, and you'll see improvement as we go on here. But I got to watch the tape closely to really grade him. But I'm sure, just like I want a few play calls back, he probably wants a few throws back.
Good. Early in the week, you talked about Deion Barnes, the team kind of avoiding it, but he got a sack today, tackled a loss, got some of those numbers. It's just good to see that production in the field.
Yeah, I mean, Deion's is just, in my opinion, a heck of a football player. I think he's had a good year. I'm not sure. Maybe some of you guys should come in and watch the film with me, and I'll point it out to you. I think the guy's done a great job this year. I think he's a fantastic player, and I'm very, very glad that he's on my team and not on somebody else's team.
Hey Bill, do you enjoy coaching in like the rainy, messy weather like this? And can the team gain something out of shutting a team out and in this kind of bad weather type of day?
I just enjoy coaching. I love to coach. I really just enjoy going out there and being able to coach with the other coaches and the players, and so it really doesn't matter to me what the weather is. And look, it was a great day and some rain and obvious things like that. But like I said when I was hired here, the type of team we want to be is a smart, tough football team that can play in all types of weather. And I think at times we've shown that, and that's what we showed today.
Bill, you mentioned the bye, coming into the bye week and getting healed up. It seemed like you came out of today relatively healthy.
Yeah.
How key was that?
Yeah, I think so. I think Kaiser might have something, but I think we're relatively healthy, and that is good. That's good. That's a credit to our training staff, a credit to the kids for taking care of their own bodies. It's good. It's good that we don't have major injuries. Obviously, Mike Hull, that's a big injury for us because he's a good football player, but he'll be back, and the bye week helps him get healed up and things like that. So, obviously losing Matt Lehman, that's not the greatest thing in the world. Anytime you lose a 6'7" tight end, Brad Bars with the Achilles, that was tough. But overall, it's just we've tried to keep that at minimum, and it's worked out okay so far.
Bill, would you assess the performance of Ryan Kaiser in that pick right after you guys get it up?
Yeah, it's hard for me to assess it. I got to watch the tape, but just from watching it from the sideline, I thought he did a heck of a job. What a fantastic kid. He's from Seelings Grove, Pennsylvania. Very mature guy. He's married. He just has a great perspective on life and a great Penn State kid. And I was happy to see him go out there and play well today. Just a fun guy to coach.
Bill, talk about your running game and how you plan to involve all three guys now moving forward, as they all had an excellent game tonight.
Yeah, I think if you've followed, if you've ever heard of the teams that I've been around, whether it was Georgia Tech or Maryland, where we ran the ball pretty well there, or in New England, we use a lot of backs at those places. I believe in using a lot of backs. I really do. I know that some teams want to use one back, and sometimes we try to go with the hot back, but we think that all three of these guys are good football players. They're practicing well. It's a competitive spot, and we think all three deserve to play, so we rotate them in there, and I thought all three played well tonight.
Coach over here.
One more on that, Bill.
And Von Walker got in there at the end, and he stuck a few in there.
Akil didn't get in until the third quarter, and he goes for 120 yards. How comforting it is when you can go three guys like that and all can be effective in a game?
Yeah, I think the reason why, you're right, Corey, about him getting in the third quarter, but I think it was more because of the lack of offensive production, because I think what we try to do is go every 2 series with those guys, and just didn't work out to be able to get him in there earlier, and but we'll continue to look at that. But yeah, it's great for him to go in there, and I know it sounds redundant, but he's just an awesome kid. He's a guy that he's from Canada and then from Buffalo, and just works extremely hard, had a great off season, and I'm just very, very happy to see him do well.
Coach, back here on your left. Once again, the fans stuck through you guys. It was nasty out there for them. Talk about what it was like, from your perspective, seeing them hang in there and the support you got.
Yeah, I just think it's just it's a special place. When anytime you can come to a Penn State football game and it's pouring rain and you see that student section, and I thought the turnout was pretty good for a rain game. You just can't say enough about these fans, the way they cheer, the band, the way the band plays, and what they mean to our staff and our players. It just means a lot, and they were there at the end singing the alma mater with us. It's a great feeling. It's just Penn State football is alive and well, and we're going to keep battling, we're going to keep fighting, and it's great to have fans like these.
Bill Belton seemed like he gave you guys a spark there at your first scoring drive. He seems to be cutting better, just playing better all around this season. And he had some nice pickups and pass protection as well today. How much of that do you think is that he's had a year and he's kind of learned the nuances of playing that position?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, Travis. Yeah, I think that when you look at when we came here, we moved him from receiver to running back, and I think it takes a little time. Even though he was a high school quarterback, he had played in the backfield. It takes a little time, and then he got injured. He had a high ankle sprain a lot last year, so he missed a lot of time. And he's come into this year, and he did well academically in the summertime. And he had a really good training camp, and he's practiced well and he's played well. He was upset that he didn't get that touchdown at the end, and I was upset at him too. Just kidding, but I mean, he did a good job today, and it's fun to watch. You guys need to ask me some defensive questions. They're all offensive questions right now. Defense just pitched a shutout, and you guys were all over them last week, and they just pitched a shutout. So can we get some defensive questions or what? No? I thought the defense played a hell of a football game today. They pitched a shutout, and I think John Butler and that crowd of coaches over there and that crowd of players over there did a hell of a job. Anybody got any other questions about the defense?
Bill, after all the criticism they took last week, was that something that was a big motivation for them? Did you see them take that to heart?
Hey, look, anytime you go out there and you don't perform, the way that you think you should perform, and you're a good football player, which we have, and you've got good coaches on that side of the ball, and we're demanding on each other, and we're very competitive people, players and coaches, it's a disappointment, and those guys took it to heart. I don't think they read, you'd have to ask them what they read, but I know this, they came out and they practiced very hard every single day, and John did a great job putting together a good game plan for this team. And I don't know what the stats were, but it looked to me that it was a struggle to move the ball offensively for Kent State, and I thought our defense did a well of a job.
Bill, to your right, I have 2 questions. One, Adam Brenneman, was he hurt? He didn't get in the game until late in the game.
Yeah.
And that's one. And part 2 was, on several series, you used 3 offensive tackles. Is that a new wrinkle and any reason why?
Yeah, no, it's good you saw that. Yeah, Adam, we went with Kyle Carter and Jesse today more. We just decided to do that, and Adam's doing a great job. He's practicing hard. Kyle was injured in the Syracuse game and is back to full health right now, you know, and he's playing pretty well in practice. So we decided with our personnel groupings to go with Kyle and Jesse a little bit more than Adam, and that's just the way it worked out. Yeah, again, I've had good experience in the past, especially in the NFL, when you can take, I don't know if you remember New England, we had Nate Solder, we'd play him at tight end his rookie year. So, those are some things that we like to do. It's a little bit different in college because of the rules. That he's an ineligible player in college. In the NFL, he reports and he's eligible. But so we got to work around that a little bit. We play by the rules, but I think that does give us an added, physical presence out there with Gary out there.
Bill, for a minute there, it sounded like you were going to say you have a bunch of fighters.
You know what, I do, and we do. We have a bunch of fighters and fantastic kids. I don't know anyone that debates me on that. It's like my mom. She still doesn't believe I said fighters. Do I look like the type of guy that swears? You're kidding me.
You guys seemed like you were had a matchup thing going and trying to get the ball to Allen on the fade a few times.
Yeah.
Was that symbolic of maybe some timing that you didn't have today compared to a couple of the other games?
Yeah, I think you're right, Neil. You picked up on that, and we have to go back and just continue to practice that. And again, coach it better. Starts with me. Coach it better, and then execute it better with both Christian and Allen, and we'll get better at that. I thought at times the ball was thrown a little flat, or at times maybe Allen could have run a better route, but yeah, that didn't work out too well tonight.
Bill, you guys are always thinking ahead. Just off the bat right now, kind of what's the plan moving forward with the bye week and starting the second?
Yeah, so tomorrow will be their day off. They have a mandatory day off. NCAA rules dictate that, and then Monday we'll bring them in, and we'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and probably, I don't know, we'll think about giving them Friday off, but they got to go to class obviously on Friday, and then they can maybe go home if they can for the weekend, and then they'll be back Sunday for dinner, and let's get ready to go, because we've got a very, very tough schedule ahead of us, starting with obviously Indiana. Kevin Wilson, who I have a ton of respect for, has done a great job with that program, and it's going to be a tough football game.
Take 2 more.
Bill, you were really able to establish the running game in the third quarter, but even when Hackenberg was struggling, you still allowed him to throw some. Is that just him trying to get him confidence and maybe a little more practice?
No, it was more. It was more just the play calls. I wish I had a couple play calls back. I thought we were running the ball well, and there was one series where I threw the ball three plays in a row, and I should have been booed on that. I got to call better plays there. I have complete confidence in Christian. He's a tremendous young quarterback, and he's got a great future. And so it wasn't about building his anything else. We're just calling the game, and probably should have called some better plays at times. But it felt like the run game was going, and we kind of stuck with that through the rest of the second half.
I have another offensive question.
Oh, come on, Jonesy.
There was a point there where you got the guys a little bit jacked up when it was about 14-0, and you got into them a little bit. What was that about? You gathered them together.
Yeah, I just we have a high standard here at Penn State on offense, defense, and on special teams. We have a ton of confidence in our players. We have confidence in ourselves, our ability to coach the game. And we just want everybody to be on the same page of what that standard is. And when you go out and you play a Division I football game, you've got to be focused, alert, you've got to be into the game every single snap of the game. And I think that's the point that I was trying to drive across to the offense at that point in time. And I thought they, eventually they picked it up pretty well.
Okay, Donnie, last one.
I have a defensive question. It looked like you guys were moving the ends around a little bit. I think CJ lined up in the over center and rushed, and you dropped Deion back, and I think you blitzed a couple more linebackers. Is that something you guys just devised to try to get a little bit better of a pass rush?
Yeah, we're a multiple front team, Donnie. You know what I mean? So we don't just line up in one front on every snap. I think John does a great job. He's a very bright guy. He's a very creative guy, along with that staff, with Larry and Ron and Anthony Midget in there. They have 2 great GAs, and Tim Kelly and Will Long, and they've got really smart players over there with Carson and Obang you know, Klein played a lot today, Wortman, and then the defensive line with Barnes and Jones, and so we moved those guys around, and you know, I thought it went well. The secondary I thought played well with Kaiser and Willis and Lucas and Trevor Williams. Those guys did a good job, and some of those other guys got in there too and contributed. So we're a multiple defense, and you know, we'll keep trying to mix it up and trying to give people different pictures.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.